You know that moment when everyone around you is visibly moved and you feel nothing? Not numb, not cold, just absent from the emotional frequency everyone else is tuned into. Psychology says the opposite. Your brain doesn't process emotion the way most people do, and there are specific signs that prove it. If you've ever been told you're too detached, or accused of not caring enough, or quietly wondered why emotional situations don't land on you the way they land on others, you're not broken. Your nervous system just operates on a different protocol. Here are 5 signs your brain processes emotion cognitively, not reactively. First, you experience emotion on delay. Most people feel, then think. You think, then feel. Someone shares devastating news. Others immediately tear up. You go analytical. What can be done? What's the plan? How do we solve this? The emotion arrives later, hours later, sometimes days. It's not absence, it's processing lag. Your brain routes emotion through logic first. By the time it reaches your emotional center, the moment is past. To others, it looks like you didn't care. To you, it was just buffering.
Second, you compartmentalize without effort. Most people carry emotional weight everywhere. You store it in labeled containers. Work stress doesn't bleed into dinner. A fight with a friend doesn't ruin your focus. Not because you're cold, because your brain separates cognitive function from emotional state. It's why people describe you as steady during chaos or unreadable when everyone else is unraveling. You're not suppressing, you're filing. And your system treats emotional overflow like a well-organized archive. Third, you don't mirror emotion automatically. When someone cries, most people's nervous systems sync. Mirror neurons fire, faces soften, eyes water. Yours don't. You observe the crying, you register the distress, but you don't absorb it. Psychologists call this low emotional contagion. It's not empathy failure, it's boundary strength. Your brain distinguishes between "I see you're in pain" and "I must feel your pain to validate it." Most people can't make that distinction. You can't avoid it. Fourth, you solve when others want you to feel. Someone vents to you. They're not asking for solutions. They want presence, validation, emotional resonance. You offer logic, frameworks, next steps, fixes. It confuses them. They wanted comfort. You gave competence. Not because you don't care, because your brain treats distress as a problem that requires solving, not an emotion that requires mirroring. To you, fixing it equals caring about it. To them, it feels like you missed the point entirely. Fifth, you trust patterns more than feelings. Most people make decisions by asking, "How does this feel?" You ask, "What does the data say? What's the pattern? What's the track record?" Feelings are noise. Patterns are signal. You stay because the system works. You leave because the structure doesn't, even when it still feels fine. It's why you stay in situations others would have emotionally exited, and why you leave situations that feel fine but show structural cracks. Your decision-making isn't heartless, it's just not heart first. And in a world that romanticizes emotional intuition, that makes you look detached. But detachment isn't the same as disconnection. You're connected to reality, not to the emotional narrative around it. If you recognize yourself in these patterns, here's what it means. You're not emotionally shallow, you're cognitively structured. You don't feel less, you process differently. And while the world rewards people who cry on cue and mirror emotion instantly, it quietly depends on people like you, the ones who stay rational when everyone else is drowning in feeling. Your nervous system isn't broken, it's just calibrated for function over display. If you've ever felt completely drained after talking to certain people, this video explains why that happens. If you want to understand the psychology most people never see, the patterns behind behavior, the mechanics of minds that don't follow the script, subscribe. We decode what feelings can't explain.